Welcome back to FM Storey. We are approaching the midway point of season 3 of this save with Milan. The last episode we experimented with changing the tactic. That did not work. We went back to the 4-2-3-1 that had served us so well in the first 2 seasons, despite the number of goals we conceded in season 2. And the results have picked up again. But we have a very difficult run of games coming up in this episode. The last episode, relatively, was pretty straightforward. This episode in the league, we've got Lazio, Inter, Roma, Juventus coming up. We've got the last 3 games in the Champions League coming up, and having only won 2 out of our opening 5. We've got Arsenal, we've got Celtic, we've got Newcastle. It's going to be a tough ask to even make it into the knockout stages. So without further ado, let's get into the action. We've made it to the end of December, and it's time for a derby against Inter. We've managed to maintain the form that we showed at the end of the last episode, and things have gone pretty well. We've even done a bit of transfer business for as soon as the January transfer window opens, although the player we signed isn't probably going to be available until maybe the end of the transfer window because of the African Cup of Nations. We ended the last episode with a 2-0 victory away at Fiorentina. We started this episode with a 5-1 victory at home against Spezia. We did pick pretty much a rotated team for that because we had a big game coming up a couple of days later in the Champions League. And we did pick up a 3-1 victory at home against Arsenal, which was big. Because we'd lost 3 of our opening 5 games in the Champions League and we were in danger of missing out on the knockout stages altogether. We've then followed that up with back-to-back 3-0 victories. Firstly, away at Lazio. Rafael was outstanding. Unfortunately, Reinders picked up an injury there. He's out for a couple of weeks and will be missing this Inter game. We then had another 3-0 victory at home against Torino, but we really left it late. The 83rd minute, the 85th minute, the 88th minute. Theo Hernandez had missed a penalty early on. So as far as the league's concerned, we are top. We're level on points with Juve, but they've played a game more. We're 6 points clear of Inter, so if we can pick up a victory in this game against Inter, then that'll put us in a really strong position going forward. The victory against Arsenal in the Champions League was key. It's taken us to 3 wins and 3 losses in the opening 6 games. It's taken us to 9 points. We're probably not, there's a chance we could make the top 8, but very unlikely given the number of teams above us. And hopefully we can secure a place in at least the top 24 to make it into the knockout stages. It's going to be tough because the last 2 games are both away from home against Celtic, who are right on the bubble, and against Newcastle, who are in that 24th position at the moment. But that's obviously all to come at the end of January. And then the bit of transfer business we've done, the one area of the pitch that we're really struggling in this season is finding someone who can play through the middle, who's going to regularly score goals. So what we've done is we've gone and done a deal for Victor Osimhen as soon as the transfer window opens, but he's going to be away with Nigeria in the African Cup of Nations. There was a release clause in his contract at 64 million, which was triggered because the board had given us a bit of extra money. We still have, after that transfer is taken into account, we've still got another 30 million if we need to strengthen the squad more in January. So he comes in, the 18 finishing, 18 heading, the pace, the off-the-ball movement, the composure. Hopefully, with the players we've got supplying him, he can score a load of goals for us. Looking at his season so far, he's not exactly set the world alight at Napoli. He's got 4 goals in 21 games. He has only started 11 of those 21 games, so I don't know who Napoli are starting ahead of him. But a big deal for us, and hopefully in the second half of the season he can fire us to some trophies. So Going into this derby against Inter, obviously, as we said, Reinders is out injured. He's not going to be fit enough to take part. I mean, looking at their squad, I mean, two players that have caused us problems in the opening couple of seasons from wide areas, Dumfries and DeMarco, both suspended. Nicolo Barella's out injured, so hopefully we can take advantage and pick up 3 points and put us in a really strong position going forward. So this is the side we picked. We did in the end actually have a few issues. So in this week, in training, both Kyle Walker and Traciano picked up knocks. So Calabria starting at right back. Chukwueze would have been on the bench, but he's travelling to the African Cup of Nations. Thankfully, Benassa, who's also going to the African Cup of Nations, is available for this game. With Reinders being out injured, Profundi's playing the number 10 role, Morata's playing through the middle. And that is, even with the suspensions and the injury to Barella, it's a pretty strong Inter team. They're obviously having a much better season this season than they did last season. And hopefully we can come away with a decent result. So it's 4-2-3-1 against 4-2-3-1 here. Right, Bacciarina gets back to win the ball. Theo Hernandez to Leao on the left. Back to Heto. Benassa. Heto to Theo Hernandez. Benassa and Leao, who've worked the ball pretty well. Profundi finds Bacciarina, who helps it onto Sotel in the box. And he's dragged it across goal, aiming for that far post and misses the target. Right, Profundi with a corner to the near post. The head is flicked on over the top. We've started pretty well. We're knocking the ball around and we've created a couple of chances, but we could do with taking one. Right, another corner. Profundi again to take it. Again, this one a bit deeper. And Morata scores, but I think he's offside. I think he's offside from the initial header. It's been given though. So Profundi whips the corner in a bit deeper. Up in the air, Morata gets his head on it. It must have come off their defender rather than ours. Right, Scalvini out to Calabria. Benassa out to Theo Hernandez, who first touch is dreadful. Thankfully, they've tried to overplay it, getting into the box. Benassa out wide to Sotel. A lovely cushioned header into Calabria's path. We're playing some good stuff. Sotel now down the right. Whips across to the back post. Leao's header goes wide. Right, Bacciarina with a corner from the left into the near post, up in the air. Morata heads it down. Profundi shots blocked. Morata gets the rebound, fires it through the bodies, finds the back of the net, gets his second goal of the game, and gives us that 2-goal cushion. A lovely ball, a lovely corner in. Morata heads it down. Profundi takes a shot. Comes back out to Heto. He finds Morata. His shot takes the nick off the defender, I think. Flies past the keeper. And we're 2-0 up. And another corner. Bacciarina deep this time. Comes out to Sotel on the edge of the box. His shot's blocked. And we've tidied it up at the back. Calabria goes back to the keeper. Calabria now with it. Scalvini into the midfield to Bacciarina. And we've given it away, but Bacciarina wins it back and then loses out. Bastoni with the forward ball, and now Thuram's in behind on that left-hand side for them. He's got it back in the box, and thankfully he couldn't hit the target. And there we are, half-time, 2-0 up. 2 goals from Morata, and we've played pretty well. I mean, they've had a lot more possession at various points in that first half, but we've created chances. We've been a real threat from set pieces, and we've got the 2 goals. Right, no changes at half time. Not much happening in the second half, but they've got a corner. Çalhanoğlu, the back post. Maignan comes and claims it easily. No one even got up in the air for them. Rolled it out to Hato. Benassa to Bacharina. Try to drive forward in midfield. There's a challenge there, but Soto picks up the loose ball. Driving in field. Benassa finds Leao in the box, and he tried to just pass it into the bottom corner. Just couldn't bend it into that corner. Right, we made a few changes just to get some more fresh legs on the pitch. The game hopefully is petering out now. We're into injury time, only a couple of minutes of it to go. A late corner for us. Volpato to take it. Whips it into the near post, up in the air. Pavlovic heads it back. Volpato has it. Bends it off the post. Benassa. And that's full time. Pretty comfortable 2-0 victory in the end. We were a real threat from set pieces in that game. And a big, big victory over a title rival. It puts us 3 points clear of Juve at the top of the table. It means we're now 9 points clear of Inter in third. And hopefully we can just keep on kicking on in the second half of the season. We've made it to the end of January. We've got a big, big game coming up against Juventus that could decide what happens with the league title. And things have gone exceptionally well since that game against Inter. We won the next game 5-1 against Bologna. With the players away on international duty, we called up Kevin Zeroli from the B team. He scored on his debut. Bacharina picked up a hat-trick and a pretty comfortable victory. We then won 3-1 in the semi-final of the Supercoppa against Fiorentina, although it looks comfortable, but they did equalise in the 86th minute before Leao scored in the 87th, and then Reinders got an injury time winner. However, we did lose the final of the Supercoppa to Napoli, losing 2-1. The third round of the Coppa Italia, a pretty comfortable 5-1 victory against Hellas Verona. We then won 4-1 at home against Como. And then the Champions League, we were looking really just to finish in the top 24 to make it to the knockout stage. We ended up winning 4-2 away at Celtic. We were 2-0 up. They got 2 goals in the first 15 minutes of the second half to pull it level. And then we got 2 late goals to come away with the 3 points. We then hammered Roma 6-0 in the league. Victor Osimhen's second game for the club, his first game in the league. He picked up a hat-trick and a really comfortable victory there. And then in the last game of the league phase of the Champions League, we went away to Newcastle, won 1-0 with an early goal from Malik Thiaw, and then we held on in the second half to secure the 3 points. As far as the Champions League is concerned, that means that we actually finished in 8th. It went down to the last day because we played on the Tuesday. Slavia Prague were the only team that could overtake us going into the last lot of fixtures. They were playing Bayern Munich, who hammered them, which meant we finished in 8th. And having lost the opening 3 games in the Champions League, we've somehow won the next 5, ended up finishing in 8th and skipping the knockout playoff round and going into the last 16. And then, as far as the league's concerned, we are 6 points clear of Juventus. We've got a game in hand on them. We're now 8 points clear of Inter in third, with a game in hand on them as well. And we're 11 points clear of Napoli, who were in fourth, who we have played the same number of games as. Now, obviously, if we can pick up a victory in this next game away at Juve, that would put us 9 points clear of Juventus and 11 points clear of Inter. And that would be a big, big boost to chances of retaining this league title for the third successive season. If we do win this, we really should go on and win. We shouldn't be able to collapse. But the interesting thing is we've got this Juventus game. If this doesn't go well, after this Juventus game, we've got Napoli in the quarterfinal of the Coppa Italia, followed by Napoli in the league. So if we can pick up the 3 points against Juventus, we'll be in a strong position. If we don't pick up 3 points, then that lead at the top of the table could rapidly diminish. There has also been some action in the transfer window. Obviously, the signing of Victor Osimhen that we'd flagged up before the Inter game. It means we have spent a hell of a lot of money this summer, and the board have actually ploughed more money in. So with a couple of days left in the transfer window, we've still got, I think, 71 million that we can spend. In terms of the outgoings, we've sent Komoto out on loan. He signed a new contract, and we sent him out on loan for some experience. A couple of players that were going to be out of contract at the end of the season in Pandolfi and Lontani have gone out. Pessina, the young goalkeeper we signed in the first season, has gone out on loan to get some first-team football. And then we had 6 centre-halves in the first-team squad, which is probably a bit too much in terms of managing to make sure everyone gets game time. So we've sold Pavlovic to Barcelona for up to 26.5 million, and Matteo Gabbia has gone to Feyenoord for 15 million, which leaves us with obviously Scalvini and Hato, who came in this season, and Tomori and Thiaw as well. So this is the side we've picked for the game against Juve, who are now managed by Ruud van Nistelrooy, which I hadn't seen happen. Osimhen starting through the middle. Benassa is back from international duty, but not. He needs a rest, so he's not even on the bench. We've got Reinders and Bacciarina in the midfield with Profundi behind Osimhen. Chukwueze obviously is back from international duty as well. And hopefully we can come away with 3 points. I mean, we should have had 3 points against Juve at the start of the season. We threw away a 3-1 lead. Hopefully we don't do something similar today. All right, so Bacciarina with an early free kick lifts it to the back post, and Hato's header goes over the top. Scalvini with a free kick. Looks for Chukwueze, who's knocked off the ball. And now Kefren Turam bringing it forward for them. Mudryk in behind. We block the first cross. The second one's pulled back. Really, we've just we've given the ball away and let them run past us. Nico Gonzalez, who seems to score against us all the time in this save so far, picks up the opening goal of the game. Right, they've gone short with the goal kick. Romagnoli into Locatelli in midfield. His poor ball's picked up by Teresiano. Reinders back to Teresiano, driving into the box, low ball in, and there's Rafael to turn it home, level it at 1 apiece. And as much as we gifted them their first goal, they've gifted us that equaliser. Teresiano does well on the right-hand side, and then just pulls it back, and Leao dispatches it past the keeper. Not sure why we needed the lines drawn on the pitch for that one. Hato is giving it away. Luckily, he wins it back. Now Leao driving forward, goes from distance, and the keeper makes a routine save look hard. Bacciarina with a corner into the near post, up in the air. Bundy goes back, pick the ball up. Scalvini wide to Chukwueze, cuts in onto his left foot and smashes it off the top of the bar. From the goal kick again, they go short, pass it into midfield. And then they've gone back. And we've let them get up the pitch a bit too easy here. Vlahovic now looking to go around the outside. Mudryk into the box. It's cut out by Profundi. Osman now turns and runs. Profundi onto Bacciarina. Chukwueze went first time from distance, trying to catch the keeper out off his line. The keeper makes a save, turns it behind for a corner. Bacciarina to whip it in. Looks towards the back post. And the keeper comes and claims it. Right, into injury time. Profundi with a free kick to the back post. Hato, effectively a free header. I mean, I don't think that can possibly be offside, surely. It's being given. Hato, he's the man at the back post, just doesn't even, it's as if he doesn't notice he's there. Doesn't pay any attention to him, doesn't try and challenge him. He powers the header down past the keeper. Right, free kick right at the end of injury time for them here. They've gone back to the keeper. Into the midfield. Osman wins it back. They've got it though. Vlahovic. Hato gets a challenge in, but Endo. Mudryk fires wide, and that's half time. And I think, based on the chances, we probably deserve to be in front. I mean, we've not been great. We've given the ball away a lot, and we did give them their goal. But again, we look a threat from set pieces, and we've got a 2-1 lead at half time here. Right, present the same team at the start of the second half. There are going to be some players that need replacing in the second half just because of the amount of game time they've had. Right, Profundi with a corner to the back post. Hato gets his head on it again, gets a second, gives us a bit of a cushion with that 2-goal advantage now to put us 3-1 up. And this could be a very good day for us at the top of the table. I mean, this time there is a bit of a challenge, but he gets up above everyone and powers the header home. Right, we've made 4 changes. Parisi on for Hernandez at left back. Zaroli on in the midfield for Bacciarina. Soto's come on for Chukwueze. And Morata's come on for Osman, who was not fully fit before the game. Hato out to Soto on the right. Back to Scalvini. Reinders back to Scalvini. Into Profundi. Morata looking for Soto. It's cut out. And Reinders, though, tidying up in that midfield. And now Parisi bringing it forward. Looking to go all the way to the byline on the left. Crosses it to the back post. Soto's head is blocked by the keeper, but the rebound falls straight back to Soto, who fires home. Puts us 4-1 up away from home. And hopefully we can't even throw this one away like we did the home game against Juve in the league. But Parisi just drives to the byline, lifts it up. Soto's head is saved by the keeper. And then sort of fires the rebound in with a bit of a deflection off the defender. Right, Parisi with a throw. Goes back to Hato. He gives the ball away. But then they've given the ball away on the edge of the area. Soto nips in, fires it high past the keeper, and makes it 5-1. And this is a bit of a hammering. And we give the ball away terribly, but then that's even worse, right in front of their own goal. And Soto from the edge of the area hammers it past the keeper. Right, Hato with the ball at the back. Finds Zaroli. He whips it out to the right hand side to Soto. Takes a touch. Back to Terracciano. Soto into the box. Orostanio's shot's blocked. And they've cleared it for a throw-in. And there we are. Full time, 5-1. A really dominant performance, especially in that second half. And that now means that we're 8 points clear of Inter, who we've played a game less than. We're 9 points clear of Juve in third, having played a game less than them as well. So we're in a really strong position to make it 3 league titles in a row. And there we are, the end of another episode, and a very, very successful episode indeed. We've managed to strengthen the squad with the signing of Osman in this January transfer window. There's still a day left in the transfer window. We've got 76 million burning a hole in the transfer budget, so if something becomes an option, we might be able to strengthen the squad even further. Probably more remarkable is that we've managed to somehow finish in the top 8 in the Champions League phase to make it straight through to the last 16. Especially after losing those opening 3 games in the league phase, we've done remarkably well to win the next 5. We're well clear at the top of the table. But coming up at the beginning of the next episode, we've got the quarter-final of the Coppa Italia against Napoli. It's going to be a tough, tough test. Join us then to see if we can make it into the semi-finals. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you then.